Levin Furniture and Mattress Pirates defense. Talked about Triolo at short, Brandon Lau at second, Nick Gonzalez at third with Spencer Horowitz at first base. It's Justinson Garcia in left. Ryan Reynolds is the designated hitter tonight. O'Neill Cruz in center, Jake Mangum in right. Henry Davis, of course, catches Skenes. Pete Crow Armstrong set the tone last night against Bubba Chandler. An extended at bat, 10 pitches before he drew a walk. And we're underway. He went 1 for 5 in the game. He had an RBI double off the wall in the 4th inning. After the Lau home run had tied it, that double by PCA untied it and gave the Cubs the lead again. Pirates would knot it up at the bottom of the 4th on a Connor Griffin home run. 1 ball, 1 strike, the changeup. Skenes' first start against the Cubs since September the 16th here last year. Where he lasted just 3 2/3 innings, 92 pitches.
Change up right out in front. I'd like to see efficiency from.
I'm just going to say, Bob, it's like he's got 2 goals in mind tonight: efficiency, but yet go long.
Well, I mean, that's how he.
I guess that combination would work, right? 1-2 pitch. 1-2.
It's weird to say, but what I don't see, you know, I guess I'm maybe a minimum of 6 innings. 7 innings would be what you kind of look for nowadays.
Well, there's a pop-up that
I don't think everybody saw that.
I don't know that anybody saw it. It dropped in foul territory, but it was a pop-up, was up there in the air for a while. And I don't know that Justinson Garcia saw it off the bat, but those are the kind of moments you'd like to get an out. And there's one. Struck him out looking, and PCA knew it.
And that was 99 miles an hour at the knees. Good power fastball.
And that strikeout presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Skenes struck out just 2 Blue Jays his last start in Toronto in 5 innings. Ball 1 on Nico Horner. Horner 2 out of 5 last night. Had an opposite field RBI single in the 2nd off of Chandler. Also drew a walk later in the game. And a .333 career hitter against Skenes. So you got to believe that Skenes is on a mission to really shut down these Cubs, coming off these 2, by his standards, subpar starts back to back. And though the Cubs haven't done a whole lot of damage in his 7 career starts against them, a .294 ERA, they've been pesky. In those 7 starts, only once has he gone as many as 6 innings against them. That was his 2nd career start at Wrigley Field, May 17th, 2024. So he pitched the 6 innings of no-hit ball, struck out 11 at Wrigley. Since that 6-inning stint, he had 2 more starts his rookie year. 5 innings, 5 innings. Last year, 5 innings, 5 innings, and 3 2/3 against the Cubs. Deep short, Triolo. 2 outs. Bob, what are tonight's keys to the game presented by your Western PA Buick dealers?
Well, I like to see the sun go down. Skenes, I'm not really kidding. The numbers between day games and night games for Skenes is incredible. I mean, he is absolutely untouchable in these night games. So, yeah, I want it to get dark. I got a pretty good idea that I'm going to get that one. And then pin help. Yeah, the pin needs to help win that ball game, and we do have pin help there with Majinski being moved to the pin.
Majinski wouldn't be ready tonight. Out of the pen, you wouldn't think. In fact, might be a couple days before Majinski would be ready. He pitched on Monday and went 5 innings.
早安，早上好。这么拼没睡觉？对啊，就想看 Paul Skenes 投球啊。哦，打击轮到小熊的第3棒 ，Michael Busch。Paul Skenes 一上来就投了2K 啊，在第1局投了2K， 3上3下。
Skenes' arm strength is just crazy.
I mean, a Cy Young, 2nd year.
He doesn't even look like he's trying. It's just effortless.
The ball comes out differently. You just can't see it.
What's scary is there's really nothing the guy can't do.
Babe? Can I get some help?
It was a defensive play so iconic that we simply call it the catch.
This is the glove Willie Mays had when he made that catch. This is great.
Oakland pitcher Dave Stewart was named the World Series MVP.
It really comes from like the kings of Siam would give their courtiers white elephants, which were sacred animals.
They need to know this story. That's amazing.
Nobody could steal a base like Ricky.
I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
So imagine making steals in these stuff.
So these are Thai Cubs.
These are Thai Cubs.
So what I want to know is, were they ever swabbed for the DNA of opposing pitchers?
Roberts is no stranger to stolen bases himself.
That's what makes him special, is that everybody knew he was going to steal.
Roberts is going. Safe.
You know what they say, one great play deserves another. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
大家早上好，早上好。哦，这一场是海盗的王牌投手 Paul Skenes， 哦，登板先发。
For the year, okay, not great. Yeah, I was looking at the numbers. Davis got some pretty good numbers. I might have to look for him.
然后小熊队的先发投手格林雷啊，这是一个很高的界外球，哦，上到了看台。
Batting average, you see up to 288, that OPS at 850. And he is 6 for 17 in the season series against the Cubs. Game number 7 between these two teams. Lefties hit 100 points better off Ray than do righties.
就是一垒方向的界外。
Counsell relieved that his Cubs finally snapped that 10-game losing streak last night. Collected 14 hits, scoring the 10 runs.
到的首棒打者 Boys， 这时候打到了投手丘面前，一人出局。
Hit 340, OPS over 1,000, 4 homers, 8 ribbies, he scored 9 runs. Don't see, of course, the American League much, even though interleague play was introduced.
这个曲球偏低。
Once a year.
到第2棒的2垒手 Brandon Lowe，
see him a little bit in spring training also, and I can remember him more from that than playing during the season. But I'm with you. I didn't realize that he had the.
早安。外角的曲球。
The body type until we saw him in spring training and actually stood there with him. 2-2.
我这个滑球削到了好球带，两好两坏。
180 pounds, 31-year-old, drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays out of the University of Maryland. And look out. Foul ball. The bat goes sailing.
我这球挥棒连球棒都甩出去了。 老虎又变破病猫，对啊。两好球，两坏球。偏高的速球，哦，不然登落选掉，两好三号，两好三坏，满球数。 这颗滑球滑进了好球带，打者站着遭到了三振，两出局。
Ray made 3 starts against Pittsburgh last year.
这球打在了左外野，哦，左外野手没有接到，哦，这是一支二垒安打。哦，第三棒的指定打击雷老师提出了一支左边方向的二垒安打。 老虎又变破病猫了。老虎真的碰不得啊，真的，打线太烂了。
Last night 0 for 4, struck out his last 3 times up after driving a ball to the wall in right field. His first at bat, 2-0. With the rookie right-handed batter on deck, obviously Colin Ray and the Cubs decided. At least in the first 3 pitches, not to give him anything.
Yeah, I'm curious what 3-0 is going to look like.
3个坏球，没有好球。哦，连续4个坏球。哦，一局下半，在2出局的情况下，海盗队攻占了1、2垒。等下班。 7点了哦，再1个小时你就下班了。
Garcia, 7 games for the Pirates, 5 for 21.
I was just asking, do you want me to score on that?
Strike. Xfinity batting stats, reliable Wi-Fi at one price. That's 21 at bats, 5 hits in 7 major league games this season. 0 for 3 on Monday was Garcia.
到第5棒的 Garcia， 这颗球从好球带边缘滑过去，这是一颗好球。捕手提出了 ABS 挑战，良好球，没有坏球。
Home plate umpire Dan Bellino making that announcement. He's the crew chief.
Even though we don't get the square up here, that one looked pretty good. Wasn't surprised when he tapped his home run.
本垒后方的插棒界外。
Mark Ripberger, Derek Thomas, Dan Merzell, the other umpires. Derek Thomas not here the first 3 games of the series.
这偏高的速球，卡西亚选掉，良好一坏。
Cascade, Iowa. 50 miles from Cedar Rapids, where Mitch Keller grew up. 1-2.
再来一颗偏高的速球，卡西亚忍不住，遭到了3振，结束了1局下半。
Somebody probably wants to hear about an Oral Hershiser card, and this is an odd one. Because how many times do you see somebody placing sod at an AstroTurf field in Pittsburgh? I asked the groundskeeper at Dodger Stadium to cut me out some turf, and we traveled with our grass. So that momentum, that vibe from Dodger Stadium, and we started to win on the road. So the nickname, the Sod Squad.
There's the results. The fire comes pouring out of Betts as he rounds the bases, his second home run of the game.
At the warning track near the wall, it's gone! It's gone! A grand slam! Vaughn Grissom has put the Angels in front. He's driven in 6 tonight.
2局上半，小熊队的首名打者是3垒手 Bregman。
Deep center, Schneemann back. He leaps up. He made an incredible catch. Oh my goodness.
Back goes Jackson. Merrill.
Get it, Jackson.
Jackson!
Way to go, kid! Snaps it back. Yeah, we see ya. You're the man. Woo! That was awesome.
Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates, because life, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. And by Cohen Markets, free ice cream is back at Cohen Markets. All Club Cohen members get a free Hershey's ice cream sandwich every day, all summer at Cohen. We're up to 11 dogs consumed on dollar.
这个速球进到了好球带，一好球。
Now is that the 2 of them combined? It has to be. Joey Chestnut would not have consumed 11 by this time. 0-1 on Bregman. 0-2. The sweeper.
这个 sweeper 让 Bregman 挥棒落空，良好球，没有坏球。
Talked about the little trouble he had putting guys away with 2 strikes his last start. See how he does here with Bregman. So far, so good. 1-2-3 first. Weak pop up.
这球3垒方向上到了看台。
Competitive pitch there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The two extremes, one right down the middle, the other one way too far outside to get it even a check swing. There we go. How about that?
这个 sweeper 让 Bergman 挥棒落空。Paul Skenes 上来投了4个人，就标出了3次3振。
Gravity did its job.
3 strikeouts. Here is Ian Happ. What a battle this is.
偏高的速球。
Happ is 3 for 12 against Skenes with 5 walks in his career against Skenes. He's reached base safely here at PNC Park, a record 40 consecutive games. 5 RBIs last night for Happ.
个变速球偏低，2坏球没有好球。
Have 184 career home runs now with the Cubs. That is 12th on their all-time list.
造成了一垒方向的界外。
Happ's home run last night in the 7th inning. 2 on against Johan Ramirez gave the Cubs a 7-4 lead. Now it's 2-2.
2好球，2坏球。
No, Greg, you hear this pitch just pop the glove, just change it.
Yeah. Wow.
哎呀，98迈的4缝线速球让 Ian Happ 挥棒落空。投了5个人，就标出了4K。看起来 Paul Skenes 今天状态还不错哦。
Suzuki 1 for 5 last night.
到了第6棒。来自日本的铃木诚也 ，Suzuki 偏高的 sweeper， 2坏球没有好球。外角的速球没有削到好球带，3个坏球。这个球就进到了好球带里面，1好3坏。再来一颗98迈的4缝线速球，让铃木诚也挥棒落空，2好3坏，满球数。
No reason not to. I'm kind of thinking I'll throw that sweeper.
Okay, I say same pitch. Country hardball, 3-2.
哎呀！3坏球之后，连续抓了3个好球，3振掉了铃木诚也。Paul Skenes 还是那个 Paul Skenes 哦，2局投出了5K。
Personality. He's a playful guy. That's Rowdy saying, "Hey man, I'm getting out of your way."
Nice catch, JD. JD. What a catch. He probably stuck with the pine tar.
No kidding. Look at this guy.
I mean, it comes off the screen and he just barehands it. We're talking about power. We're talking about bling. This is the stuff that puts people in the seats.
Ruth's adoring fans pitched in to gift a crown fit for the home run king.
How come the fans didn't, put something together for me?
They gave you a nice round of applause.
Good job, Carlos.
That man is 42 years old. I'm only 22. Until that man stay on that mound, nobody gonna take me out of this game.
Okay, let me see what I can do about it. Right now, I feel like I can go over there and go placata right now on the field just because I held this batter, Willie Mays. I'm not giving it back to you. You need it back?
Get back.
Okay, you can continue talking.
And you're just going to hold on to it? Yeah.
Hammer and Hank became baseball's all-time home run king.
Hank Aaron flipped the bat, pointed to the outside, and said, "Placata."
Every single Triple Crown winner has been inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So it looks pretty good for Miggy. Just saying. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Bottom of the second, Paul Skenes before going down that tunnel. Talks to Henry Davis. He has struck out 4 in a row. He struck out 5 of the first 6 Cubs. Here's Jake Mangum.
首名打者是第6棒的 Mango。
You've homered off this guy in the past, so you get up here in
that cleanup spot this inning, isn't he?
Yes.
内角的速球，一好一坏。
Mangum starting in right field. 38th game with the Pirates.
这颗滑球让 Mango 挥了一个大空棒，2好球1坏球。
Overall, the .250 batting average has struck out 21 times and 92 at bats.
三垒方向的插棒界外。
Stay alive. He does like to slap that ball the other way, though.
这个球扫到了1垒方向，1垒手接球传给投手，1人出局。
One out here in the bottom of the second. Colin Ray back with the Cubs. He's been a starter and a reliever. Signed a 1-year deal in November, rejoining the Cubs last season. Second stint in the organization with the Cubs in parts of 19 and 20 seasons. Came to the big leagues with the Padres.
这个球带到了中外野，中外野手看起来是已经锁定了2出局。
He can go get it. Despite some maybe defensive lapses over the past couple of weeks, still leads the league and outs above average at any position in the majors. Gold Glover. And now Jared Triolo. Starting at short.
See how he had that shot of Crow Armstrong out there, Greg, telling everybody,
到第8棒的游击手
guys to his side, there's 2 outs, 2 outs.
Oriolo。
Oh, that's a great idea.
You don't have to say it, but
okay,
just
yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'll be the center fielder up here.
Give me one of
I like that. Yeah.
I'm getting old. I'm getting really bad at that. So
I know. Don't worry. Good. I'm glad you're willing.
内角的速球。
Well, I'm gonna listen. Don't say anything, but you can like just show me too. I don't want people at home knowing you're having to tell me every time there's 2 outs.
Two outs.
And I'll give it back to you. Let's see. Okay, 2 outs. I'm being serious.
I know you are. Now sometimes I'm also going to move over a little bit. I'm going to take away some.
这是一颗外角的独一破，1好球3坏球。
3-1. And a full
这个速球是好球进垒，2好3坏，满球数。
Helping with the rally. Skenes pacing. 3-2 pitch coming to Triolo. Colin Ray.
内角低的速球三振掉了，打者。结束了2局下半。
To be able to create cards. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that this opportunity would come to me. But I always say, like, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I was ready for this moment to be able to create these cards to the best of my abilities and do this project justice. And so I'm super proud to be creating cards. You know, if you asked me when I was playing in 2017 or 18 if that was going to be a thing, couldn't have imagined.
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, Neil, where are you going? He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's bat.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week.
首棒打者是第7棒的指定打击 Balestro。
MLB Plus to subscribe today. Here's Moises Ballesteros. Designated hitter.
偏高的速球。
0 for 2 last night, 2 for 8 in the series. Miguel Amaya on deck, then Dansby Swanson. Skenes has struck out 5 of the first 6.
这个 sweep 让 Balestro 挥了一个空棒，1好球1坏球。
Ballesteros had his eyes closed on this swing.
再来一颗 sweep。 Paul Skenes 的 sweep 是真的刁钻了，连球皮都摸不到。偏高的速球三振掉了 Balestro。
As long as he's getting them quick with 4 pitches, something like that, that's fine. We'll take the strikeouts. Elevated fastball.
He's thrown 35 pitches, 23 of them for strikes. Here's Amaya.
轮到第8棒的捕手阿曼亚，这球打在了右半边，出了界外。
Skenes did in his starts prior to the last couple of bumps in the road, the Phillies and Toronto, what he had done the previous starts in Phoenix against the Diamondbacks and here on May the 12th against the Rockies has people anticipating every pitch now.
偏高的速球。
An indication that people are locked in here. As he has set down the first 7 Cubs.
连续2颗偏高的速球，1好球2坏球。
13 whiffs already, 13 swings and misses already. Only 3 other times all year has he had more in any game.
内角的 sweeper 打成了本垒后方的界外。
There's 3 different pitches for sure. Fastball, of course, the sweeper, and I think I saw a swing and miss earlier on a changeup.
2-2 on Amaya.
He's got a full, what do you call it, palette of colors to use.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe
using them all.
Yep.
Because he is an artist.
2-2. 3-2.
这个 sweeper 挖了地瓜，2好3坏，满球数。
3-2 Amaya. Oh my goodness. Another sweep.
哎呀，三振掉了阿玛亚。Paul Skenes 的 sweeper 是真的打不到球啊！小熊队的打者到目前为止都是被三振啊，只有一个不是被三振。
Probably what really gets most of the swings and misses because the right-handed hitters they're out in front of it, and then the ball is going away from them, and because of the arc of their swing, they run out of bat. And no contact.
Six straight strikeouts for Skenes.
这颗偏低的变速球，1好2坏。
Struck out 7 straight Cubs to start the game at Wrigley, May 17th, 2024. His first career.
再来一颗二缝线速球，一样是偏低，1好球3坏球。哦，保送出现了，我是保送了第9棒的游击手罗安森。轮到了小熊队第2轮的第1棒，阿姆斯特朗。偏低的变速球，这球是上到了看台哦，这是一个界外，1好球1坏球。
Skenes has the best whip or lowest whip in the league.
Anytime you see these elite pitchers throughout baseball, there's some exceptions, but almost all of them are among the elite when it comes to control. It doesn't matter if they're hard throwers or not.
这个球打在了场内，哎，这是一个德州安打哦，游击手跑过来来不及。但是阿姆斯特朗冲向2垒，遭到了触杀。哦，小熊队这边看要不要挑战？哦，因为1垒上的跑者是冲回了本垒，但是他晚了1步哦。哎，这好像是一个 safe。不过小熊队是没有提出挑战的。
Look at how clean that is. The gold, I don't know if you guys know what the gold means, but the gold means you are the World Series champions from the year before. But it's the honor of a lifetime, getting to win back-to-back World Series championships with 2 different teams.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game. Post-game. And every
3局下半，海盗队的首名打者 Davis 捕手，第9棒的捕手 Davis。
custom content that hits every time because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Well, the hit off the glove of Triolo. Steven Morales talking to the password Justinson Garcia, and Henry Davis shows bunt with that third baseman back, takes a strike.
上来先摆了一个短棒，
Throwing to Lau.
Good heads up, nice throw, right on the money in the air.
And now Davis pop up.
这是三垒方向的高飞球哦，遭到了三垒手的接杀，一人出局。
The hit goes to Pete Crow-Armstrong. You see Swanson continues home, going through that stop sign. The out at second.
Now, once the throw goes to second, the stop sign is turned green, I think. There's no reason to stay at third if the throw's going to second. Then you got to keep going. But I think that the
内角的滑球，
because 9 times out of 10 that throw's going to go home. That was just heads up play, that knowing you had an out at second base if you make a play, and he made the play.
And if that call is overturned and the safe call,
then the run scores.
And the run would have scored, even though it didn't score because the tag was applied before he crossed the plate. 2-1 on Horwitz.
Yeah, I thought that Crow-Armstrong had been arguing from his back, but on the replay I saw that he had a couple of fingers still on the bag as he was arguing.
There's Justinson Garcia, that strong throw. 2-2 on Horwitz. Little tapper back to Colin Ray, leading off the bottom of the first. Last 19 games hitting at a .361 pace. Spencer Horwitz. Full count. Ray has walked 17 in his 56 innings.
Yeah, Horwitz a good guy to have in that leadoff spot. He can get himself on. He'll take the walk, or he can get a hit. Sprays the ball around, got a little power.
Not the first time he's been leading off in his career. Did it a bunch with the Blue Jays. He did it several times with the Pirates last year.
Not the fastest leadoff hitter you'll see, but as far as getting on base, he fills the bill.
Here's Lau.
哎呀，这是一颗触身球啊！ 在3局下半一人出局的情况下，海盗队的攻势起来了哦，攻占了1、2垒。 目前是1、2垒有人，1人出局。
The sound I heard was so loud I thought for a moment that it came off the bat.
Yeah, it sounded had a crack. There it is.
And he didn't react like it hurt, so put 2 and 2 together. He's on base.
For Reynolds. Horwitz at second. Reynolds doubled the other way in the first.
这球打到了外野，找到了左外野手的接杀，哦，2人出局。轮到的是中外野手第4棒的格鲁兹。
Pitches as he gets in there this situation.
这球打到了左外野，哦，抓到了左外野手的接杀，结束了这个半局的大好攻势。哦，依然是无功而返，双方依然是0比0。
Sometimes artifacts in the collection at the Hall of Fame could tell multiple stories. This is the earliest known Yankees baseball cap in existence. It tells a story of a very early baseball cap and of a guy who just had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. But there's actually a hidden story inside this cap. There's another name written in the cap. So who's Dolan?
Who's at third base? Tyler Callahan. We welcome you to the Toyota RAV 4th inning. Nick Gonzalez banged up a little bit. Wondered about that foul ball he took off the knee last night. This is Gonzalez after he hit that drive. That was his fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. So Tyler Callahan. Warner grounded to the shortstop Triolo in the 1st inning.
这球打进了场内哦，游击手接球处理，我还是来得及，一出局。
Chest high, right? All the money. Perfect.
Paul Skenes liked it. Triolo at short now. Tyler Callahan at third.
天低的变速球，一好一坏。
He was the first of 6 straight strikeouts for Skenes. Dan Brazil says no. 2-1.
See Davis nodding his head yes. They try to influence.
内角的速球，主审没捡，一好三坏。小熊队这边只有第2棒的 Kona 跟第9棒的Swanson没有被 Paul Skenes 三振过而已哦，其他7棒通通第1轮都是被 Paul Skenes 用三振给解决掉的。偏高的速球，打者忍住了，等到了保送，上到了1垒。这球 Michael Bosch 紧急刹车，轮到的是第4棒 Bregman。低角度的深卡球。
2 walks for Skenes in this ball game against the Chicago Cubs, a team that has drawn more walks than any other team in baseball.
这是一个自打球，良好球一坏。
Early career time now for our Penn West University educating you. As a matter of fact, the 2 walks so far tonight brings the total to 19 walks allowed against the Cubs in the 8 games pitched for Skenes. 19. The next most walks he's allowed against any team is 7.
偏高的速球。
St. Louis, Detroit, the Mets, and Milwaukee. 7 walks against each of those 4 teams. 19 walks now against the Cubs.
目前球数来到了2好2坏。打成了插棒界外。
Another 2-2 pitch to a fellow LSU Tiger and it's fouled off by Bregman.
左半边的界外，球数一样是维持2好2坏。
Houston in 2015 out of LSU. Pick after the Diamondbacks had selected Dansby Swanson, number 1 overall.
这是一个不营养的高飞球，中外野手可鲁兹接杀出局，2人出局。
2 outs. Brings up Ian Happ. How we doing with that pitch count, Bob?
Well, looking up there at the scorebook, it looks like we've thrown 64 to this point.
I see that, but what do you think of it?
Oh, I think that's okay.
外角的变速球。
Kind of depends on this Happ at bat, brother, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If Happ can see a lot of pitches and then maybe get on base, and well, now that's going to hurt the pitch count. If he can get him out in the first 2 or 3, then yeah, that's real good. Be 4 innings in and less than 70.
Well, Davis not sure whether he wants to go talk now. He decides to go ahead and do it. Skenes.
Paul Skenes 这2颗球有点失控哦，捕手上前来跟 Paul Skenes。
Brief conversation. He's falling behind half 2-0. Walking Bush with 1 out in the 4th.
And no score ball game. He's got to be careful with Happ up there. And you got Suzuki who's not swinging the bat real well. Right-hander on deck.
Skenes tries to barehand it, and that's going
哎
to
呀，
cost him.
这球 Paul Skenes 漏掉了哦，这是一个投手面前的强袭球。小熊队攻占了1、2垒。 轮到第6棒的铃木诚也，这球希望 Paul Skenes 没有受伤啊。 这球是左边方向的平飞安打哦，小熊队这边跑回来1分哦，铃木诚也的这一支平飞安打带有1分的打点。 俄勒斯特洛击出了一支不营养的高飞球，遭到了1垒手的接杀哦，结束了4局上半。不过在4局上半，靠着铃木诚也的一支平飞安打哦，小熊队坚持得点，1比0领先了海盗队。
But I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm gonna do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich.
4局下，海盗队的首棒打者，第5棒的加西亚。
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Welcome back to PNC Park, and while some injuries are piling up for the Buccos right now, we did get some positive news on Jared Jones pitching tomorrow, and Ryan O'Hearn here, who is dealing with a right quad strain right now. He's been doing some baseball activities, including plyos, hitting, throwing, and running. Marcelo Ozuna's 2 young sons actually took a break from their intense ping pong game to run up to him in the clubhouse this week and shouted, "Why aren't you playing, O'Hearn?" Everyone in the clubhouse laughing, and he said, "Don't worry, guys, I'll be back out there soon." 2 homers in his last 4 games. Brownie, I'm sure Pirates fans eager to get him back.
这个声卡球进到了好球带。
Sure looks like he's getting awfully close. Here's Justinson Garcia with an 0-1 count, takes a ball.
外角的坏球，一好一坏。
Not in the lineup with just some elbow tenderness. And O'Hearn,
he really lengthens our lineup when he is in there. I mean, that's, you know, one of the goals I think when they brought him over was to just add another very much quality bat in there that makes the lineup much longer guys that you need to really
打成了本垒后方的插棒界外，两好球一坏球。
just makes it that much tougher to pick your spots, who you're going to pitch to, who you're not going to, and him being out of the lineup, it hurts us.
Cubs up 1-0 here in the fourth.
哎呀，这是一个健身球啊！两好两坏。卡西亚在前一次打席也是遭到了3振。右半边的界外，球数一样维持两好两坏。 一样是扫成了右半边的界外。这球打进了场内，有几手接球处理，传向一垒，一人出局。
6:45 first pitch after the game. Fantastic America 250 themes and belly drone show presented by AHN. Get your tickets at pirates.com/drone show. Derek Shelton and the Twins come to town. Jared Jones makes his 2026 debut. He'll be on the mound for the Pirates tomorrow. As Mangum pops it back out.
轮到的是第6棒的 Mangum。
He'll be pretty pumped up, I would think. Worked awfully hard to get himself back ready.
Hasn't pitched since September of 2024. There's Jared Jones next to Mitch Keller. And between them is Bubba Chandler. Keller will pitch Saturday afternoon.
偏高的速球。
And Carmen Majinski will be in the bullpen.
这个球击成了左半边的一支平飞安打。曼格姆今天开张了。
Tyler Callahan was picked up in the first week of March from the Cincinnati Reds for Kyle Nicholas. Playing a lot of third base.
第7棒原本的3垒手冈萨雷斯，被换掉了，换上的是 Taylor Callahan。
25 years old. One-time big prospect with the Reds, made his major league debut last year. Third round pick in 2019 by Cincy.
外角高的速球，一好一坏。
4 games with the Reds. Early last year went 1 for 6, picked up his first career RBI, and then trying to make a sensational catch against the Braves, suffered a horrific season-ending injury. Mangum likes to run.
Got a nice lead.
There he goes. Swing and a miss. Out at second base. Dansby Swanson applies the tag. And Mangum.
这球一垒的跑者往2垒跑，结果被抓到了，2出局。
He couldn't have ran down and handed to him any better. As he's catching the ball, he's simultaneously making the tag.
Yeah,
that's some
pinpoint
bad luck right there. That throws 6 inches anywhere, any other direction, safe.
内角高的快球。
Right there.
2-2, 2 outs.
Did you see Romeo holding that pitch right there?
In the dirt.
It's a nice frame.
Two now on Callahan. Injury occurred May the 5th last year, playing in just his 4th big league game. Matt Olson at the plate, and both bones shattered in that left forearm. Emergency operation in Cincinnati, and then underwent a second surgery to repair torn cartilage and ligaments in his left wrist. And
这个外角的速球选掉。 哦，凯勒汉一上来就选到了一次四坏球保送。轮到的是第8棒的游击手Triolo， 内角高的速球。
hits against him the second time through. Triolo a couple of times has lost that batting helmet. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Pirates shortstop. Triolo on the injured list. A few weeks. Right knee patellar tendon injury suffered first week of April. Came back May the 1st.
这球打进了场内，但是找上了游击手。哦，结束了4局下半，小熊队依然是1比0。
And Chapman against the right-hander who has perplexed the Giants over the years. The pitch to Devers. He drives one to deep center field. My goodness, it is gone! Up over the balcony onto the walkway. A monstrous home run from Devers. Not many hit it out there. Holy smokes, Devers ties the game with 1 swing.
That's a big boy home run, and it's 1-1.
That was a big boy home run.
Altman with the dive! Superman, hit-saving play, goes in the rail, and Sal Stewart makes the play.
Diving catch made by DeLuca. Diving towards Berger, he's got it. He's up. Nice play by Jake Berger. Harris reaches up and makes the catch. Michael does it again.
Nunez dives, stops it, gets to his feet, throw it up first, he's out! To steer, extends, double play!
Leaping up, oh, he caught it!
He does it again!
Going back is Bellinger, and he makes the play!
Diving stop Guerrero, the flip to Savage, and it's in time.
Serve it into left field on Angel Martinez!
Oh, what a nice grab by Connor Norby. On a short hop, a bullet he snagged.
Carson Bench with a 1-hop straight to the plate. He is out!
To the warning track, he leaps at the wall. He makes the catch. Langholm is there to make the catch. Oh, my goodness.
Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by your Western PA Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Miguel Amaya leads off the 5th against Skenes. Takes ball 1. Paul Skenes struck out 7 of the first 8 batters he faced, including Amaya. The strikeout of this number 8 hitter in the 3rd inning was the second out of that frame. Then he walked Dansby Swanson, the first base runner, and then Pete Crow Armstrong had a pop-up to shallow left that dropped out of the glove of Jared Triolo for the first hit.
这个球打成了右半边的界外，1好2坏。
Skenes tried to barehand a soft chopper by Ian Happ. And rather than let his shortstop make the play, did not get the out. The next batter, Kiya Suzuki, dropped one into left, accounting for the game's only run. Two balls, 2 strikes. Changeup pulled foul, still 2-2, and a broken bat.
Pitch number 75 will be from now on kind of, looking at that pitch count and figuring if he can get through 6 and stay under 100.
So it's so interesting to see the domination, putting guys away, the whiffs through the first 8 batters. But now this. Since the walk to Swanson. No strikeouts. Few whiffs. There's one. 99 upstairs, gets Amaya for a second time. And that's his 8th strikeout.
Can be, different things. Sometimes hitters making adjustments. Sometimes you just, for whatever reason, you get out of the groove that you were in, and some guys can't get back into it. And some guys will, like I'm sure Skenes is in the latter company. He'll get it figured out. But the kind of the problem, and in the modern game of baseball, you're going 115 pitches, but now you're only going like maybe 95. So you don't have that time frame. It's not lengthened out to where you got, I'll figure it out before I'm out of here. Sometimes you just run out of pitches.
Two and two. Out in front 0-2. This is with a changeup and a sweeper. Swanson, the man who walked in the 3rd, first base runner. That changeup gets him. That's 9 for Skenes. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Whiffs, strikeouts, returning this inning.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Change up, a little bit of sink to it.
He's 4 for 14 against Skenes.
Strike 2. He gets Crow Armstrong here, then that pitch counts. is going to be fine for pitching the 6th inning. He needs to. He would like to get it done. This pitch, maybe one more.
Two. 10 strikeouts. Strikes out the side in order in the 5th.
You could describe Tulsa as a big small town or a small big city.
Tulsa is a very mixed city of arts and film and sports. I mean, it's a true melting pot of all kinds of things.
Professional baseball in Tulsa, it's actually older than the state of Oklahoma.
It's nice to play in front of, fans that you see on a daily basis.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the ultimate mystery player challenge, and Immaculate Grid, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play, only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
1-0 Cubs. Bottom of the 5th inning as Pete Crow Armstrong goes down swinging against Paul Skenes. And a little look. Two buddies grew up as teammates for a time and against each other. Another look. Paul Skenes reacts. That wry smile we've seen. They're on the USA Baseball 12 and under national team back in 2014. 0-1 on Henry Davis. Pirates still trail 1-0. Colin Ray, 4 zeros, and has allowed just 2 hits. Davis fouled out. Third baseman Alex Bregman his first time up.
Henry would have himself a nice game with the bat with Colin Ray out there.
Nick Gonzalez, by the way, removed from the game. Precautionary measure, left knee discomfort. Talked about that earlier. He took that foul ball off that left knee last night.
Yeah, there was a moment last night I thought he might just come out of the game then.
Strike 3 called.
Henry, I think, wanted to challenge that, but decided against it. Looked like it might have been a little inside. He's thinking about it. But you can't really think very long, though, can you? Like, you could see him stop, give it a thought, and then if he would have tapped his head, they probably wouldn't have gave it to him.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because
it's got to be.
It was a strike anyway, so
it's got to be instantaneous. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I
as
know.
Far as
right, whether he gives it to you.
You don't really have time to give it much thought.
Yeah, Horowitz tries to fight it off and just pops it up. 2 outs. Frustrating night here for the Pirates. Bats against Colin Ray. Saturday, game 2 of the series with the Twins. 4:05 first pitch. Get here early Enjoy a pregame block party on Federal Street with live music, drink specials, and a whole lot more. Get your tickets at Pirates.com. Saturday afternoon, first pitch at 4:05. Pirates, Twinkies, interleague play. Mitch Keller on the mound for the Bucks on Saturday. Tomorrow night, Jared Jones makes his return. City Connect night. Braxton Ashcraft on Sunday. The Twins, by the way, lost earlier today to the White Sox in Chicago. So they lose 3 of 4 in their 4-game series to the Pale Hose. Jared Jones on your right, Mitch Keller's left. Keller talking to Carmen Majinski. The Twins still have been playing a pretty good baseball. They're 27-30. Pirates, meantime, trying to get 3 games over 500. Currently 29-27. Ball and a strike on Lau. Homers, 36 ribbies through his first 50 games. Only other Pirate to have at least 14 homers, 36 ribbies through his first 50 games was Dr. Strangeglove, Dick Stewart, 1958, had 14 homers and 42 RBIs in the 58 season. Can you imagine a nickname like that this day and age, Bob?
Dr. Strangeglove.
I mean, he was so bad defensively at first base, they nicknamed it, and he knew it. he didn't care. 2-2. A strange night maybe for Pirates hitters as Colin Ray is blanking them through 5. 1-0 Cubbies.
Skenes' arm strength is just crazy.
I mean, a Cy Young, second year. He doesn't even look like he's trying. It's just effortless.
The ball comes out differently. You just can't see it.
What's scary is there's really nothing the guy can't do.
Babe? Can I get some help?
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till it thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green. You're an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
Shea Langoliers, who's made the most noise in this game out of anyone. Shea drives it to deep center field. Varsho going back. Still going. As far as he can go. This game is tied. A crowd silencer in Toronto. A 2-homer game for Langoliers. And we are all evened up at 2.
Knotted in 2s, and Langoliers gets one center cut and unloads. Just pummeling baseballs.
Now Paul Skenes delivers strike 1 to Nico Horner. He's doing his part. He's given up just the 1 run on 3 hits, has struck out 10. He's also induced 19 whiffs, 19 swings and misses. That ties his season high. May the 12th against the Colorado Rockies. His career high is 22 whiffs. But the pitch count is going to make this a shorter night than he would have liked. This ball's fouled out of play.
Looks like there's action in the pen right now.
And there it is, yep. Mason Montgomery. He's not going to get past 6, and he may go less than 6. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Horner. A lefty batter on deck in Michael Busch. I mean, if he loses Horner, they may be thinking about Montgomery to face the lefty batting Bush. One away.
Horwitz never moved. Right at him. I was thinking about what you said with Dr. Strangeglove. I mean, what is weird about the whole thing is why would they make him play first? Of all places, if he can't catch the ball, put him at first. That's the only thing. That's your only job. Catch the ball. You know, maybe make sure your foot's on the bat.
He was later traded to Boston, and he has the record for most errors at first base, 29 of them in 1963.
Which is amazing because you're hardly ever throwing the ball anywhere, right?
Exactly.
I mean, and that's most of the errors that get made out on the diamond, throwing errors.
2-0 on Bush. 3-0. Bush walked in the fourth. Bush has walked 5 times in 16 career plate appearances against Skenes with a home run. Walks again. Henry Davis challenges.
The catcher has challenged.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitches the ball. Pittsburgh has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, let's see if we can get a double play ball, huh? Pitch number 96 on the night. Came in and caught the inside part of the plate, a little up and in. Kind of a get me over strike for a breaking ball. Came back with another one, got swing and miss on it. Starts it off the plate, a little bit inside, breaks it right down the middle, belt high, and no contact. Pitch has a lot of character on it.
Not a double play ball. Callahan in the dirt. He'll be charged with the error as Horwitz can't come up with the scoop. Tyler Callahan's first opportunity defensively just came today to the Pirates from Indianapolis, and he commits the error.
Not an easy
Be it
scoop
for Skenes.
That was out there a little ways, not a short hop, and not an easy long hop. It got him kind of in between.
Skenes is reluctantly going to have to give out the baseball, it would appear. Maybe trying to debate.
I don't know.
Trying to tell Kelly he'll get this guy out. Yeah, Kelly's going to keep him in.
He's saying, give me a double play.
Yeah.
Still got that in order.
Montgomery was already to the door. But whatever Skenes said to him.
Well, you got right-hander on deck in Suzuki. So maybe Skenes got 2 more hitters. Or just get the double play. Be done with it. First pitch downstairs with a splitter, looking for a ground ball.
Changeup misses 2-0, and for the second time this season he reaches the 100 pitch count. Pitches. April the 30th.
That you like to get ground balls on. It's 2 splitters and a changeup.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Tapper, that's not a double play ball necessarily, no. In fact, they're not going to get anybody. A disastrous play. Triolo throws it past first, and Bush scores. It's 2-0.
Yeah, Greg, I hate to beat a dead horse. You know, I talked about this yesterday, and really quite a bit even this homestand over on the radio. We have to do something about our consistency of defense. I mean, we play some good defensive games, but we're just not consistent with it at all. And you know, the ball that Skenes tried to barehand, remember that one?
Yeah.
And now you got a couple of ground balls you get nobody out on. And Skenes goes just 5 1/3 tonight.
Subaru of South.
Looking his first time up. Matthews getting the start in left field tonight. Matthews hits it in the air pretty well to center. Going back on it is Rafaela at the wall, looking up. See you later! Matthews with his first long ball of the year, right by the Phillips 66 home run pump, and the Astros lead 4-0. That went 434 feet just to the left of straightaway center, and it was 111 miles an hour off Matthews' bat.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
Two nothing. First and third. Seiya Suzuki faces Mason Montgomery.
Montgomery's numbers on the year: hard thrower, 28 Ks and 20 innings. Looking for again that double play ball or a strikeout with a man at third and less than 2 outs. And with Montgomery out there, the strikeout is the more likely outcome, I think.
They gave, by the way, Ian Happ a single. No RBI. Run scores on an error. That will change, in the words of Sid Thrift. Charged with the throwing error. Oh, 1. And a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Seiya Suzuki. And 3-1. Scoreboard says 1-1. 3-1. And now full count. Suzuki dropped that single into left field in the 4th inning. Just a pop-up that dropped, bringing home Michael Busch, who had walked against Skenes. There's a double play ball. Safe at first. For now, it's 3-0 Cubs unless the Pirates challenge and it's overturned. They will not challenge.
Definitely beat it out.
Give him an RBI, and now pinch hitter Kevin Alcantara will bat for Moises Ballesteros. Cubs lead 3-0.
Still a lot of baseball to be played. Gonna stop the bleeding right now, though. 3 runs. We're still in the ball game. But that's it. Get this last out. Get off the field.
Montgomery was up in the bullpen last night in the 7th inning, a tie game. Michael Busch had been hit by a pitch against Johan Ramirez. Alex Bregman doubled. And then Ramirez gave up the home run to Happ. Pirates decided not to bring in hard-throwing Montgomery to turn Happ around. And Montgomery faces Suzuki, gets him to bounce to short. And now the pinch hitter Alcantara, and the runner will take off, and he'll advance on a wild pitch.
Davis couldn't find it. He thought it was down at his feet. So looking off to his right, wrong direction. If you can, when you're out on the mound, you need to help him yell where that ball's at.
That's 3 outs.
Dropped it. You have to catch that ball. You have to.
You can't come to the game with that, and you can't do that.
Ronald Acuna Jr. pouring dirt into Ozzie Albies' glove, and I'm telling you, man, he's got almost half the infield in there.
Well, you look, he wants to throw to second, but he can't get it out. Why? Because it's stuck in the web.
That is a very odd play, and they've just brought a new glove out for Shonowell.
Leap at second, Ernie Clement makes the grab and takes a hit away.
Nice play. Gets up, and they got him. Oh, what a pick by Ortiz.
They're headed by Bregman. Good play. Great play, in fact. He gets it.
Oh, good catch.
Diving catch by Mangum in center field.
Coming on, dives and makes the catch.
Haggerty going back, still going back, and he gets there, and he makes the catch.
Line drive, glove by Pena, the throw in time. What a play by JP.
Judge on the run, dives and makes the catch. Oh, what a play from Aaron Judge. Long way to go for Tawa. What a play by Timmy Tawa. Right field, long run, Saya. And sliding, he was able to haul that one in.
Into left, going back, Henderson. What a rangy play by Gunnar Henderson.
Leaping forward is Vasquez, and he makes the grab. Sending Martin back, still going, and Martin makes an unbelievable catch.
3-0 Cubs. Paul Skenes done for the day. Gives up 3 runs, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 walks, but strikes out 10. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And the whiffs, 20 of them, season high. Swings and misses.
Little everything. Just swinging and missing at about everything he had. But they're up 3-0.
Reynolds, Cruz, and Garcia due up here against Colin Ray. 5 shutout innings for this 35-year-old veteran.
to get at least one of those runs back. Start chipping away a little bit.
Moby Miller, the lefty, up. Drive to right field. Brian Reynolds has gotten the Bucks on the board, clearing the deck with that cannonball, his 5th. And it's 3-1, anchor down.
Yeah, that's a little chip away right there. Got one of those runs back. Did it in a way to where we still got plenty of inning left there. Let's keep it going. Get another one. Nobody out.
Center cut. His first home run since May the 1st. That home run brought to you by UPMC.
Belt high, middle of the plate.
.400-foot home run. Brian Reynolds. 2 more hits.
No problem getting out of here.
Joey Bart on the injured list. There with Reynolds. Cruz calls time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Number 5 for Reynolds. 7, 8 hits now in 15 at bats in the series. Cruz lined out toward the warning track the other way his last time up.
We've seen Reynolds do this an awful lot in his Pirate career, where he'll get in a month or so where they just can't get him out. He's getting in one of those streaks right now, if he's not actually in the middle of it. He's really swinging about well.
Now 3-2 and a big pitch here with nobody out. O'Neal Cruz, who came in hitting 506 games against the Cubs this season, drives this ball toward right. Suzuki at the track, and 1 out.
Off-speed pitch, splitter, changeup. It looked like he got out on into the bat just a little bit. See, O'Neal, he knew that he didn't get enough to get it over the fence. But anytime he hits one in the air like that, you think, oh, maybe. He gets a lot of velocity most of the time, but not on that one.
Brandon Bidwell up in the Pirates bullpen. The rookie. A 1-2 count on Justinson Garcia. One ball, 2 strikes.
Little away. Looks like a strike, and then nope. Outside by quite a bit. Thought we were going to be closer than that.
Now the 2-2 pitch from Colin Ray. Broken bat Squiver. Second baseman Horner over. Barehand throw. Safe infield hit for the password.
Ball with that deep on his hands. They're playing him way up the middle, and that hurt him. Warner a long way to go before he could even get to the baseball.
He beats it out, and that'll be it for Colin Ray. Pirates have a runner at first, 1 out, down 2, 6th inning. New pitcher coming on for the Cubbies.
To Ted Williams. And there's a long drive to deep right center. It could be. It could be. It is. Ted Williams has homered in his last time at bat. Williams, rounding the bases, is not tipping his cap. The crowd yelling, still waiting for him. He does not tip his cap.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game, these games, all the games, pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way, with real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time, because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
3-1, bottom of the 6th. Runner at first, 1 out. Working on a win presented by the Home Depot. And that's what Colin Ray is doing. The Pirates trying to spoil that. He's responsible for the man at first base, so he can't lose it. But he pitched a good ball game. The veteran Colin Ray. Now it's up to the bullpen. Hobie Milner turns Jake Mangum around.
He's having a pretty good year. Very solid.
Mangum was 1 for 2 against the starter, Colin Ray. Milner gave up 2 runs in the 8th inning on Tuesday. Mangum grounded out against him. Veteran lefty Hobie Milner. Hobie Milner with the lefty hitting Tyler Callahan on deck. So Stinson Garcia at first. As predicted, both runs unearned against Skenes in the top of the 6th. 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be out of play off the high netting. Lefties.
Well, they should have been unearned.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Lefties hitting just 190 against Hobie Milner. He gets a lot of ground balls. 2-2. Since the start of last year, 11 ground ball double plays. It's in the top 10 among all relievers in baseball in that span. Jacob Webb up now for the Cubs.
All the guys are trying to pull that pitch that's away. Been a couple of them now, and they'll roll over and they'll put that on the ground. But Mangum looks like he's just trying to poke it the other direction. He's got a big hole on that side.
Struck out Mangum looking. Latest episode of Buck's Bounty airs tomorrow afternoon here on SNP. Stephen Brault and Michael McHenry talk with the Pirates Director of Coaching and Player Development, Michael Chernow, about the Pirates farm system, top prospects, and player development. That's at 6 p.m. tomorrow here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh and always streaming on SNP 360. Well, on Tyler Callahan, it'll be interesting to hear Michael Chernow. We chatted with him in spring training during one of our telecasts, and you'll be able to hear it on Buck's Bounty tomorrow night. Callahan was a top prospect in the Reds organization. 1 ball, 1 strike. Making his Pirates debut with Nick Gonzalez leaving the game with left knee discomfort. Callahan walked in his first Pirate plate appearance in the 4th. Leadoff home run from Brian Reynolds got the Bucks on the board.
Like Password saw that one coming easy. He might take off now, though. I think. A couple strikes, couple outs. Nope. Callahan battling, got a piece, staying alive. It's the lefty.
Pitch number 7 coming up. And this one's going to go out of play. Another pitch coming. Tyler Callahan. Up today from AAA Indianapolis. Jacksonville, Florida native. 3rd round pick in 2019 by the Reds. And hits this toward right center field. Tyler Callahan. That's going to get down. And a tumble. Run scores. And it's 3-2. Tyler Callahan, welcome to the Pirates.
Well, I'm sure he felt bad on that low throw to first base and kind of made up for it with that one. That's a big RBI. What a battle. It kept fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch. I think it just ticked off Suzuki's glove. And then the kind of collision out there delayed them retrieving it and getting it back in quick.
An 8-pitch at bat. Tyler Callahan off the lefty. That's just the 9th hit in 43 at bats this season by a left-handed batter off Hobie Milner. And he can hoist the cone. Mangum right there by Bubba Chandler, who's hoisting that cone. So Tyler Callahan, huge RBI double to make it a 1-run game, scoring the password from first. Here is Jared Triolo after a visit to the mound. from the pitching coach, Tommy Hotovy, and now a strike on Triolo. And Callahan able to make up for that throwing error. And now here's a guy who would also like to make up for an error, Jared Triolo.
Wouldn't take a double, just a single.
And there's that helmet off again. One and two.
Some down and away changeup. That's, I think, where he gets an awful lot of his ground balls on that pitch right there. Setting it up.
There have been 2 extra base hits off Hobie Milner from left-handed batters this year. Tyler Callahan and Shohei Ohtani. Ground ball to short. Dansby Swanson throws out Triolo. The Pirates get 2, and they're within 1 heading to the 7th inning.
Hey, Brandon. Skenes' arm strength is just crazy.
I mean, a Cy Young, second year. He doesn't even look like he's trying. It's just effortless.
The ball comes out differently. You just can't see it.
What's scary is there's really nothing the guy can't do.
Babe? Can I get some help?
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. The Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and drive in a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wills around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. Chopper for Jazz, hot shot, and he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, "Did you see that?" I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP, and by Barrel Automotive, driven to be better. Pirates trailing by a run. Mason Montgomery begins this 7th inning, facing Miguel Amaya, who struck out both of his at-bats against Paul Skenes. Skenes struck out 10 in 5 1/3. This beleaguered Pirates bullpen trying to hold the fort.
Previous pitch is a strike. The batter has challenged.
Good challenge.
Pitch is the ball.
Two-0 count. 3-0. The Pirates had Brandon Benoit loosening up. But now that it's a 3-2 game, Montgomery at least begins the 7th. Another righty hitter, Dansby Swanson, and then the lefty batting Pete Crow Armstrong. Lefty Caleb Thielbar. Henry Davis 2 up first in the bottom of the 7th inning, and then lefty batter Spencer Horwitz and Brandon Lau. Hugging the line, there's Callahan. This time guns it to first.
A little different play there. He had time to set his feet, really get something on his throw.
Callahan guns it over there. Dansby Swanson has walked and struck out. Two. Mason Montgomery
going hard. Got a good fastball going tonight. 98s, 99s. Just one of the guys that you go to in that pen and you start looking for strikeouts. There's one there.
Man.
99 miles an hour.
Pete Crow Armstrong comes up, gets us to our Hyundai clutch play. And this was Crow Armstrong's base hit in the third inning. Dansby Swanson was at first. Crow Armstrong tries to go to second off the glove of Triola, but Justinson Garcia, Pirate left fielder, grabs it, guns it. The out at second, preventing the first run from scoring in that third inning. Instead, Cubs scored the first run of the game in the fourth inning on a base hit by Seiya Suzuki. Crow Armstrong also struck out twice against Skenes. Montgomery pitched in a couple games at Wrigley. Ooh. Henry Davis goes down.
Kind of hand deliver the new baseball to the mound. Talk about it for a second.
Do whatever you can to buy some time.
Davis takes some deep breaths.
Two to PCA. Still 2-2.
Slider didn't slide much. Look out.
Rounded, backhanded. Horowitz gets it to Montgomery. Mason Montgomery puts up a 1-2-3 seventh. He's been so good. 3-2 Cubs.
Tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker, and here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting. And now he's back to the left side, and a two-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Go-ahead run. Ramirez at second base. First base is open. And now Williams intentionally walked Cabrera. Line drive to center field. A base hit for Cabrera, who swung at that pitch. Williams didn't get it far enough outside, and Cabrera alertly swung at it.
Well, Little League right here. It happens in Little League when you don't get the ball out.
Now the Marlins have the lead in the 10th.
Let's recap what's happened so far in the game on our dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealers. Paul Skenes lasted 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs, 1 earned, struck out 10. Colin Ray, 5 1/3, 2 runs. Seiya Suzuki, a couple of ribbies. Brian Reynolds continues his hot pace, 2 for 3. The solo homer got the Bucks on the board in the 6th. And then the double by Tyler Callahan, his first hit in his first official at bat as a Pirate. Caleb Thielbar takes over.
Not many hits. Only 11 innings, though. Small sample size, but he's doing a pretty good job of keeping them off the bases.
A scoreless inning for Thielbar last night. Gave up a hit to Brian Reynolds. They got ground ball outs from Brandon Lau and Nick Gonzalez, and struck out O'Neill Cruz. To center field, Pete Crow Armstrong back to the track. And one away, brings up Spencer Horwitz. Haley Hunter talked about some birthdays on the Pirates this week. A birthday yesterday from the man who received the Ford C. Frick Award 3 years ago in Cooperstown, the great Pat Hughes, longtime radio voice of the Chicago Cubs and just a gentleman. Great to see Pat. Happy birthday, belatedly. Yesterday's birthday, Pat Hughes, and now Spencer Horwitz. Tomorrow, Paul Skenes turns 24. Pirates would love to get him off the hook. Right now, he's on the hook for his 5th loss.
Need to tie this baby up.
Skenes has never lost 3 straight outings. Lost to the Phillies 2 starts back, and 5 days ago in Toronto, lost to the Blue Jays. Horwitz started on Tuesday, despite the fact that Jordan Wicks was the starting pitcher for the Cubs. Horwitz was 1 for 2 against him and had a sacrifice fly against the lefty Ryan Rollison. Lefty's actually doing better against Thielbar this year. Hitting .286 against him in small sample size. There's Mason Montgomery. Brandon Bidwell, the rookie, looks like he'll be coming on for the 8th. 2-2 count. 3-2. Horwitz battles Thielbar.
Kind of have that little feel that was just seeing the ball every pitch a little bit better, and now he's able to just lay off one real close. The longer the at bat, always it kind of goes toward the hitter.
You can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com or scan the QR code. Log in with your provider and get direct access to live games, plus all of the Pittsburgh sports content you love.
Every time they see another pitch, it's just more information for them.
That looked like a pitch violation there. Step off. Nope, no violation. Nope.
A disengagement.
Disengagement. Wow. 0 for 2 with the hit by pitch against the righty Colin Ray. Lau 1 for 5 in his career against Thielbar. Two outs. And now Brian Reynolds, North Star Chevrolet Buick and GMC star of the game. 3 fine at bats. Double the other way in the first. Also lined out to left center field in the third. And then in the 6th inning, his 5th home run of the year. Said he went.
Real happy with that call. Definitely said he went. And the replay, it looks like he took a pretty good swing.
He had that base hit off Thielbar last night, so he's now 5 for 5 in his career against Thielbar. Plus a walk and a homer. No go this time.
No, he didn't.
Two balls and a strike.
Strategizing in the pen there.
Yep.
Talking about who's up next, who's on deck, all that stuff.
3-1. Cruz is on deck for the Pirates. Now those numbers of Reynolds having reached base successfully 6 times in 6 plate appearances against this pitcher. Now the lefty will face Cruz. Give Reynolds anything, and out comes Tommy Hotovy, Cub pitching coach.
Letting him know that this is going to be his last hitter.
How they want to approach this. Cruz struck out looking against Thielbar last night in the 8th inning. He's 1 for 5 lifetime against Thielbar. Alex Bregman nodding. We talked about it a whole bunch this year about how good Cruz has been against lefties.
I'm interested to see how big of a part of the strike zone they try to take with him. Again, there is the young rookie on deck.
Yeah. Right-handed ready, so you may not have to throw him a
base
strike.
open, but it's third. So part of that conversation could be be careful, try to make pitchers pitches.
And that was one there. He caught the outer edge.
The old pitch to him, but don't give him anything good to hit. And that one just off the outside edge.
Couple of righties, Trent Thornton and Jacob Webb. Couldn't hold, 1-2. Fastball up in the zone, fouled away. We've seen the sweeper and the curveball, his two breaking pitches, and the fastball from Thielbar. Another 1-2 pitch. Lays off this sweeper. Going back to your theory, Bob, about the more pitches you see from a guy.
Yep. Man, you know, he did have that at bat. Yesterday's game.
Lays off that one.
Builds everything up a little bit. He's given him nothing really to hit at all. No good pitches to hit yet.
A couple of edge pitches with the fastballs. The first pitch of this at bat that caught the outer edge, and the one he swung at upper part of the zone. Struck him out with the curveball. Pirates trail by a run, heading to the 8th.
How do you go from a triple play to a two-way star through a bracelet and the babe? Find out on Hall of Fame Connections.
This story starts way back in the early 20th century.
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, "Neil, where are you going?" He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors, where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before, both across the country and around the world.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's bat.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
3-2, Cubs going to the top of the 8th inning, and this Pirates pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust. Brandon Bidwaa, the rookie, his 7th Major League appearance.
Yeah, it's 7 innings, not a bad start. Opposition hitting less than 200 off of him, but showing a pretty good fastball, nice velocity. I would say 96 to 98 is about where he's been. And thought he swung.
2-0. Bidwaa's second appearance of this series. Retired all 5 Cubs he faced with 3 strikeouts on Tuesday in the 12-1 Pirates win. He came on in the 7th inning. Hard hit, but at O'Neill Cruz. Horner is out number 1.
Hit it good, but we'll get a guy there. Didn't have to move much at all.
Michael Bush on base twice and 2 runs scored off Skenes.
Swung at that.
Bidwaa pitching on Tuesday in that 12-1 victory. Got Bush to fly out. This will be out of play. Bidwaa came on after Braxton Ashcraft went 6 1/3, gave up 2 hits to start the 7th, and the Pirates were way out in front. Leading 9-1 at the time. Bidwaa got the last 2 outs of the 7th and a 1-2-3 8th. Struck him out looking.
No helmet tap. Thought there might be on that one. Was it? Oh yeah. Just split that outside corner. Nice pitch.
Here's Alex Bregman against Bidwaa.
Bidwaa kind of pitching himself up the totem pole.
Sure is. In a hurry. Just his 7th major league appearance. Giving up 2 runs, both on solo homers. The man from Brisbane, Australia. 0-2. Bregman reached on a throwing error in the 6th. Bregman's so good. Just reaches out on that 0-2 slider, singles into center.
All up and down the lineup. You know, all these names they have. Bregman, household names, good hitters. When they're hitting the way they normally do, this is a tough lineup to try and go through. Average hitters, guys that hit for average. I mean, they have guys that hit for power.
Ian Happ hits one out. A 2-run homer for Ian Happ. His 12th. He is amazing here in Pittsburgh. A 3-hit game. Homered last night, drove in 5, and he gives the Cubs a 5-2 lead in the 8th.
You hate to have somebody like this that owns you, but when he's in the same division, you just shake your head and say, how can he keep doing it? Because you see him so often.
Twelfth home run for Happ. Homers in back-to-back games. 185 career home runs, 5 away from Hack Wilson on the all-time Cub list. He's 12th on the all-time Chicago Cubs home run list. And Suzuki on a 1-2 pitch. Rips that slider into left. His second hit. Here's Michael Conforto to pinch hit for Kevin Alcantara.
Pinch hit yesterday's game very successfully.
Homered as a pinch hitter. Conforto batted against Justin Lawrence and greeted him with that home run. Cubs snapped their 10-game losing streak last night with a 10-4 thumping of the Pirates, and now look to win their second straight. And hand Paul Skenes his third consecutive defeat. Pirates have won 4 of the first 6 meetings in the season series, after going 3-10 against the Cubs last year. Henry Davis going to go out and talk to Benoit. Cubs will return to PNC Park toward the end of July. First homestand following the All-Star break. And Ian Happ looks forward to that trip back home. Happ, who, like Don Kelly, played at Mount Lebanon High School. Taking another look at that swing. Two and one on Conforto. 3-1. Skenes went 5 1/3, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned. Struck out 10. 103 pitches. Mason Montgomery 1 2/3 scoreless. And Benoit, after getting the first 2 outs in this 8th inning, gave up that 0-2 single to Bregman. And then Happ touched him up.
Well, Skenes was, maintaining that strikeout pace pretty good. I think, didn't he strike out the side in the 5th?
He did.
And that was after he's pushing up into the 90s as far as his pitch count. Still knocking him down. So he really had his good stuff going. Just didn't stay out there quite long enough, and the bullpen is getting a little touched up for the second night.
The bullpen complexion will change this weekend when Majinski goes out there. Carmen Majinski, who will be kind of a bulk guy, so it might help, should help the bullpen, but not going to cure all the ills. And a wild pitch moves them up after the walk to Conforto.
Davis went after that like it was a pop fly.
Yeah.
Sprinting after it, reaching out to make sure it didn't hit the ground again.
One and two. Carmen Majinski. 2-1 on Amaya. 3-1. Things have really changed for Benoit here following the home run. The Suzuki base hit, a walk, wild pitch, and a high pop up. Not a play. Three and two on Miguel Amaya. Cubs catcher. Oh, there's a happy Bucco fan. Yeah. Off the mitt of Davis, looked like a pass ball, and another run scores. 6-2. And a walk to Amaya.
I think Davis thinking that breaking ball was going to drop down a little bit more, and it just stayed up. Probably will go as a pass ball.
And it does. And now a 4-run lead. Here's Swanson. Dansby Swanson. See the numbers, 0 for 2. The batting average just 188. 2 for 12 in this series. Johan Ramirez up in the Pirates' pen. Fly ball. Garcia. Long, top of the 8th, ends. The Cubs lead at 6-2.
(1888 to 1889), Spalding took a group of big leaguers on the first worldwide barnstorming tour.
This is Spalding.
Yes,
Because you look at the Spalding, you're like, wait a second, now this is the backstory. Okay, this
Correct.
is great.
Stops included New Zealand, Italy, France, and even Egypt, where they played in front of the pyramids. Spalding's contributions to baseball history don't end there.
Do you know the story of Doubleday and the invention of baseball?
Please,
tell us.
Enlighten us.
When a 71-year-old Cooperstown native came forward, baseball officially had a birthplace in Cooperstown.
If I'm in the presence of this baseball, does it like give you powers to become a better baseball player?
I've been here 5 years and playing baseball through all of it. I don't think I've gotten better.
And whether it's the World Series or the wonders of the ancient world, there's no debating that baseball connects us all. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Moniak on the run, sliding grab, and he can't get it. It rolls up the line.
Well, a bloop single and now a bloop double. You see him just slip right off the bat.
Clean up on base number 1.
Lourdes throws the pineapple up the line. What is going on down here?
Back in the produce section.
That's good.
How about that? Myers went all the way to the 380 mark. He had that in his glove. Wow.
Well, I'm sure Pirates fans are ready for Ian Happ to leave PNC Park after yet another homer. But for those who have kept up with the Pittsburgh native over the years, they know just how much he loves to give back to his community. It was just last year that the Mount Lebanon High School alum donated $20,000 to his old school to help them build a brand new gym. And now just a month ago, another $25,000 to add the same top-notch equipment he uses in his own home gym to their gym. He's still close with his old coach, Pat McCloskey, who is still the head baseball coach at Mount Lebanon, and told me that given everything he and the program have done for him, it brings him so much joy to give back. And speaking of Pittsburgh natives, well, Trent Thornton making his 4th appearance at PNC Park, a place he told me his uncle used to bring him as a young kid when he was a club member here. So Thornton said, although he and the family did move to Charlotte when he was 5, he still remembers coming to the games and cheering on some of his favorite players, such as catcher Jason Kendall. So a couple of Yinzers, Brownie, on this Cubs team coming back home to Pittsburgh.
Thornton, a Shaler native, born there, as you said, Haley, and lived in Pittsburgh until he was 5. His mom, maiden name, the Dietz family. I'm assuming that was that side of the family, a well-known name in the Shaler area, Dietz, including Uncle Marty, local attorney, and yeah, there too, as Haley has said, 2 Yinzers, 0-2 on Justinson Garcia against Thornton. Swanson on the first in the dirt, picked by Bush. Mangum. Down 4, 1 out in the 8th. Bounce to third, the backhand play made by Bregman. 2 outs. He was in on the grass.
He's got
that play.
Worry about the speed. So. And Pirates are at this point, because of the lead, they need base runners. So you have to take away that bunt. Possibility of one anyway.
Tyler Callahan, last time up, doubled to right center off the lefty Hobie Milner. And that brought in Justinson Garcia and made it a 3-2 ball game. The Cubs pick up 3 in the top half of this 8th inning. Now they're 4 outs away from earning a split in this series. And they will feel awfully good about that. After dropping the first 2 games. They head to St. Louis for a weekend series against the Cardinals at Busch. San Suzuki, a couple of ribbies in this one. And for the Pirates, it'll be another disappointing loss. And that is a foul ball. Still 2-2.
Hey, we're looking to win 3. And we're gonna, unless something happens here where we get 4 runs in a quick fashion, I have to be happy with the split of the 4-game series.
Last night down 3-0, and then the Lau home run in the bottom of the 3rd to tie it, and even down 4-3 in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Connor Griffin home run tied it. But the bullpen gave up 6 runs in the 7th inning, and the Cubs win it walking away 10-4. Tonight, Paul Skenes on the mound. You felt good about him. And you saw Connor Griffin not in the lineup. Little tender elbow. Callahan bounces it to second, and a 1-2-3. 8th inning for Trent Thornton.
The Bank of America.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game, these games, all the games. Pre-game, post-game, and everything in between. This is baseball your way. With real-time stats, scores, breaking news, and custom content that hits every time. Because you choose the teams and pick the players you want to follow. So when they catch it on the field, you catch it on the app.
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Oh, and it was still a strike. How about that?
Me? He's falling down. He can't even see home plate.
Duke has it and throws a changeup in the dirt.
Really a silly play. And now he will display his soccer skills once again.
Be careful out there.
Oh, my.
Look at Berkman running to the dugout. Are you kidding me? These guys are scared to death.
Now the sprinklers come on. Somebody really messed up.
Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by AHN, official medical provider of your Pittsburgh Pirates. And by Chili's Big Crispy 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat. Gorgeous night, but the Cubs lead at 6-2. And now Yohan Ramirez, who gave up 4, got 1 out last night in the 7th inning. That 3-run homer by Ian Happ. Tonight, Ian Happ hit a 2-run homer. Brandon Benoit.
Ramirez numbers aren't really what you would call great, but strikeouts are strong. He's been getting a lot of those this year. ERA is kind of snuck up there now. It's 4.75. Three outs here with no runs. Get it coming back the other way.
3-0 on PCA. Four-pitch walk. At times, we've said it time and time again with Yohan Ramirez, he's, especially in the zone, unhittable at times. And then times when it's all over the place, he has really trouble with his command. Nico Horner. Attendance 19,121. A lot of folks have left the building at this point. The Pirates have one more shot. Right now down 4. A ball and a strike. Decide not to challenge. Pirates have one challenge left, don't they? Yes. I just realized on the score bug we've got those notches. I didn't realize that, Bob. Did you realize?
Where's the notches at?
Those
yeah,
dashes on the left. Pretty neat.
There's one left. Have they always been there?
That's very cool.
I've been told that they added them.
I was told the same thing.
I think it's the correct term would have been they snuck them in.
I like that though.
Yeah.
Challenges right there on the left for you to see.
Up. There they are. The score bug has really grown over the years. Lots of information.
And look at PCA going to third. Racing to third and following up Horner, who gets the base hit to second. On a hard hit to left, Pete Crow Armstrong.
Well, he's a very aggressive base runner. Seen that this year, last year. He wants that extra 90 feet every time.
You know, you hear a lot of times when these minor leaguers come up to the big leagues, how the game speeds up on you. You know, he doesn't realize that this Crow Armstrong, you talk about aggressive in the speed he has, that he's got to sprint after that ball.
Could have charged that ball a little bit harder. Once he moved laterally to where he could get to the ball, and then he started coming in, he no longer was like at full speed, thinking that, okay, there's a single. And that's, you know, you hear the term all the time, you know, the learning curve. But that's kind of what you're talking about. You got to learn who the runners are. You can't do that. And the Crow Armstrong is a guy that, when he's coming into second base, he's always thinking third.
Yeah.
And if he sees that you're kind of not really going full speed, he's going to challenge you.
Garcia coming in, will make the catch. We'll give a tag on that. The infield was in, and Bush is retired. Interesting that Garcia threw out Pete Crow Armstrong in that third inning. Pop up.
That was a similar type thing where Armstrong was pushing the envelope.
Infield still in against Bregman. And a strike. Saw a lot of folks last night here from Oak Glen High School. We wondered about those powder blue caps and T-shirts. Those are the Golden Bears of Oak Glen High School near New Cumberland, West Virginia.
One of the members of that group made a nice barehanded catch.
There's a nice play on a backhand. What a play that was by Horowitz, and the tag applied by Davis. And Crow Armstrong says headsets as he sprints to the dugout, and he's convinced he's in there. So they'll challenge, and the way he's acting, we're convinced.
Well, it was a nice throw. Good backhand. Ball beat him.
And he's in there.
But I don't think the tag was there.
Chicago is challenging the out call at the plate. Previous play is under review.
Gets his hand in here.
He wasn't tagged until late. Does his hand hit the plate?
Looked like it.
Sure.
I mean, are you sure that the jersey didn't just get nicked by a piece of that glove?
Well, I mean, even his hand hitting the plate, it was a little bit off the ground. You know, the heel of his hand's dragging along, but his finger's up in the air.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So it'll be interesting. Now it was called out, so they'll have to see something that proves that he was safe. See his fingers up in the ground? It's just
yeah, that's his palm.
Now maybe the little finger right there may be on the plate.
Yeah, but the glove might be getting a piece of the jersey.
May have already touched him. Yeah. I've been watching the hand every time on that slow-mo, and I haven't really paid attention to the glove. I watched the glove on the original one. Oh, where he tags him on the sliding mitt. Watch the I think he gets him on the sliding mitt.
By the way, we should point out
after review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Chicago will retain his challenge.
I thought he got him on the sliding mitt, Greg. Now, I don't know if his hand was on the plate or not, but I didn't see that earlier.
Just want to go back to this nuance. Take a look.
Right there. See, he tagged him on the glove. Before he tagged his chest, he tagged him on the glove.
You can, as a catcher, with the infield in, you can block the plate. Davis gave the full plate, but you can block it with the infield in.
Where I came from, you could block it when the infield was in the dugout.
And the new Posey rule, they allow that. A little nuance.
New style baseball. No contact. Caught it in the air.
Well, how about that? Ian Happ is retired. There's another look. The infield is in, and Henry Davis could have gone over and blocked it, but Crow Armstrong gets his hand in there. 7-2. First and third. RBI for Bregman. One ball, one strike. Yeah, so shout out to Oak Glen High School, Hancock County. We're talking about that. Dr. Basic's office, Dr. Nicole Velez, Pittsburgh Skin Dermatology here tonight. And now hoping for a 5-run comeback at least in the bottom of the ninth. Leadoff walk to Pete Crow Armstrong led to the 7th run. Michael Busch walked twice against Paul Skenes. He scored both times. Argument there that should not have been a strike. But they're leading 7-2, so he's not as upset as he was the other night. Obviously, it didn't hit the bat. But he called it a foul tip.
Foul tip, wow.
Not close.
That was just...
And you can't challenge that.
Well, you go by sound.
Strikeout. Down 5.
Skenes' arm strength is just crazy.
I mean, a Cy Young, second year.
He doesn't even look like he's trying. It's just effortless.
The ball comes out differently. You just can't see it.
What's scary is there's really nothing the guy can't do.
Babe? Can I get some help?
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work.
It's got the right color.
Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
Tomorrow night's game on Apple TV, but on Saturday, Bucks back here on SNP. Mitch Keller starts against Bailey Ober. Coverage starts at 3 p.m. here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh and always streaming on SNP 360. Tomorrow night, you can listen on the Pirates Radio Network. Dollar Dog Night tonight, not tomorrow. At It's Jared Jones making his 2026 debut. We talked about Paul Skenes wanting to put a foot down. You guarantee Jared Jones will be fired up tomorrow night to put his foot down.
We never did see a total on the hot dogs, did we?
No, that's right.
Those two guys that were dancing, I think those were the two that were had the scoreboard going earlier. Well, there's the scoreboard, but that's not the side we want to watch.
What she got there? The names of who's that? Certainly not hot dog totals. I see 60 on one.
Yeah, that's no way.
Here we go. Oh my goodness! Maybe there is a way.
There is a lot of a lot of hash marks on that baby there. That must be for the group.
Hot dogs consumed. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Triolo.
Dollar Dog Night, always a favorite.
It's quite a group. They dress the part, some of them. Hanging out in right field. Oh, base hit to start for Jared Triolo.
Left the off-speed pitch up. And Triolo takes the first step forward. See if we can keep making them.
Henry Davis homered off Thornton to win the game on Memorial Day. 2-out solo shot in the 7th inning that broke the 1-1 tie. Thornton out there for a 2nd inning of work here tonight. Swanson, 1-2. Two outs, nobody on. Low for 4 night for Henry Davis. Spencer Horwitz 0 for 2, but with 2 walks. Pirates with 6 hits, 2 of them from Brian Reynolds. Justinson Garcia had an infield single. Jake Mangum an opposite field hit. Tyler Callahan had the RBI double in the 6th. It got the Pirates to within 1. Horwitz with a fly ball toward the wall in right, and that will end the ball game, and the Cubs earn a split of the 4-game series. And they beat Paul Skenes.
Yeah, not the game we were hoping for. And this was kind of an important game. At least it felt that way to me. I didn't want to split with these guys after winning the first 2. I wanted to take 3 out of 4 and maybe get a little momentum going into a series against the Twins. But it is what it is, and now we've got to start again. It's weird, Greg. I just feel kind of like we've just been treading water for a while now. We're not making
not taking off,
not making progress, and we need to put a little streak together here soon.
Well, they'll try and do that starting tomorrow night with Jared Jones making his 2026 debut. But the Cubs win it 7-2, and they earn a split of the 4-game series. Stick around, more to come. Hannah Mears, Michael McHenry, Stephen Brault coming up next.
Absolutely, positively no.
Skenes' arm strength is just crazy.
I mean, a Cy Young, 2nd year.
He doesn't even look like he's trying. It's just effortless.
The ball comes out differently. You just can't see it.
What's scary is there's really nothing the guy can't do.
Babe, can I get some help?
From about 1905 to 1925 or so, teams actually issued cardigans as part of their team uniform. In that era, knitwear was actually having a heyday in sports. Think of ski sweaters or Argyle sweater vests on the Gulf Green. And baseball decided to jump on the bandwagon and create cardigans.
That's my security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted the famous dog, so she told me to do it.
He built a legacy. I'm glad he's on our team.
Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates and Chicago Cubs split this 4-game series after the Cubs win back-to-back games in the back half of this series with a 7-2 win tonight. The Bucs started rallying back in the bottom of the 6th, scoring 2 with new Pirate Tyler Callahan making an immediate impact, but it was not enough to keep down Ian Happ and the Cubs as Happ, hailing from Mount Lebanon, put the final jab in this one. Back-to-back games with a homer for him. Welcome in to Pirates Extra Innings alongside Stephen Brault and Michael McHenry. I am Hannah Mears, and guys, splitting this series didn't feel too great. I feel like that's something it's okay, right? It's okay against a division opponent, but after winning those first 2, you just felt like the Pirates were a shoo-in to win this one, but the Cubs looked like a totally different team between games 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
This one hurt.
Yeah.
This one just seemed like we didn't have energy. We didn't have that enthusiasm that we've had in the past. We didn't play good baseball. This isn't the brand that we've shown all year long. So it's very different. You think about the 2 errors. I think we had, 5 in the series. We had a bunch of wild pitches. We had a pass ball today. A lot of free chances for these Cubs to be in this ball game. And on a Skenes night, we wasted a good start for him because in that 6th inning when he went out there, it was just really tough for him to even get through that. Wild game for us.
Yeah, you're going to hope that there's a learning moment there for Justin Garcia out in left field. This is the big leagues. Guys are going to take extra 90s when they can get it, especially really aggressive base runners like Pete Crow Armstrong. Those are the little things that made today feel, I think, worse than it is in the grand scope of the season. It's just one game that you lose, and you got plenty of time to try to gain some ground on this division. But when you lose a game like tonight, it feels bigger than that. And you have to come out tomorrow with Jared Jones coming out on the mound and try to win that game with all of your might, because it's an important game to get that momentum going back up, as Bob was just talking about. I think he makes a really good point. It wasn't a must-win in any way, but it would have felt way better to have won that game.
And I think it really hurts. I mean, right? Ryan O'Hearn's out. Our all-star shortstop's not in there. Gonzalez gets taken out in the 3rd inning, which we'll get to. But those are a lot of tough blows in the middle of this game where we're just not playing our best brand of baseball. Just very tough. Got to figure out a way to wash this one off and move forward, like you said, and try to use that momentum with Jones in that Big Apple game that they show on Friday nights.
Jared Jones, if you need his energy, it's tomorrow. That is for sure. This team feeds off of that energy he brings on the mound. He's such an intense guy. I know they're dying to get him back, and we heard from him earlier today. He's ready to get out there, and he is appreciative of this journey to get back to this point. But his bestie and Paul Skenes, that he also mentioned, struck out 10 batters tonight through 5 1/3 innings pitched. He threw his season-high 103 pitches tonight, sat down 6 straight Cubs at 1.2.
Yeah, look, Paul Skenes obviously has great stuff, and it did seem like he came out tonight trying to show off the really good stuff, and he did. I mean, his fastball was fantastic. The sweeper and changeup at the beginning of the game were unbelievable. It was weird to see him kind of slow down that second time through the order. We haven't really seen that from Skenes too much. Usually, if he starts strong, he continues to be strong. It's weird to see guys get there eventually like the Cubs did today. This is a good lineup, though, and you have to realize when Skenes goes out and gets the 10 strikeouts, that's not everything. And they did a good job of putting some balls in play when they had to and scoring some runs.
Well, that was tonight's Copper's Cage strikeout recap. Paul Skenes, the last 2 games combined for 9 strikeouts, 10 tonight, and 20 whiffs, though. Was pretty impressive too, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, it's a season high. I mean, I know he's chasing Bubba's 22, but at the end of the day, this guy, when he's on, he's absolutely remarkable. I thought the changeup played really, really well early on. I'm actually kind of surprised he ran away from the fastball, went heavy in the sweeper that second time through, but it was also a huge swing and miss pitch with 7. So at the end of the day, this guy knows exactly what he's trying to do. I think the fact that the Cubs couldn't figure him out is the reason why he got taking out his ball game early, outside the errors and not playing good defense behind him. But guys, average X velocity against him today, 79.4.
Crazy.
League average is 88.8. It just shows that he had his best stuff across the board. You know, you're talking about a play here, play there. This guy easily gets in the 7th, probably strikes out 12, maybe even 13.
Yeah, this is a weird one for Skenes because it's, you know, you talk about a guy having great stuff, and with Skenes, he always has great stuff. The question is how he puts it together. Yeah. And tonight, it was interesting to see at the beginning of this game that he was using, so the first 2 innings, I went and looked at this, he only used 1 off-speed pitch that moved into a Cubs hitter. So he was going all fastballs in and up, and then he's using his breaking ball going away from righties, using the changeup and splitter going away from lefties. That was it. The one he used was the ground out that Horner got. All the other ones were strikeouts, and he was using everything going away from them. That changed throughout the game. And obviously game plans change, but it kind of seemed like maybe he simplified at the beginning and it was working, and then you kind of went away from it. Now, what does that mean? Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, but it was nice to see that he still got incredible stuff. It seemed like he wanted to show everybody, hey, I do strike out most people, literally most people that I get to 2 strikes. We saw that again tonight.
And I can't imagine having that toolbox, right? If I'm back there and I have 8 buttons and 7 of them I can push, and they're all quality pitches, it's very tough. But yeah, I think he can learn something from that, because at the end of the day, the game's always telling you something. In those moments, he was absolutely dominating the Cubs. There's no reason to change. Sometimes we overthink it, right? We try to do more because maybe what they did the day before, but he's Paul Skenes. His stuff plays anywhere. And if he's doing it with 3 pitches, let it play.
I'm curious to see what he has to say about this one later in the show for sure, especially with those 2 strikes. That was something he had an emphasis put into this one. But he had to be happy about teammate Bryan Reynolds right now and how he's playing 4 doubles this series against the Cubs. This is 3 straight multi-hit games for Bryan Reynolds. And of course, a big homer to get the Bucks on the board tonight as well. Yeah, he looks outstanding from both sides. Now he's starting to swing on the left side really, really well. We knew his numbers against Colin Ray going into it, I believe it was 8 for 18, if I'm not mistaken. So he comes out and he absolutely does exactly what we think. Right out of the gate, gets an awesome double, a little bit of positivity when it comes to that bounce that he got in the shadows, and then he goes deep later on in the game. It's really good to see him start to show the power on that left side. Steven, that's something that we expect to see going into June. It's his favorite month. I'm pretty sure he was born, maybe all of his kids were probably born in that month, because he absolutely loves it, and I expect him to jump out in a big way through June.
Yeah, 9 for 18 before today. He went 2 for 3, so that makes him 11 for 21.
Good math.
In his last 6 games. I mean, he's been tearing the cover off the ball, been hitting the ball really hard. Before the game, we kind of analyzed his swings right and left-handed. And interestingly enough, before today, his right-handed swing, he had a lot more. His exit velocity is 2 miles per hour higher, which may seem not very big, but when you have a ton of at-bats, 2 whole miles an hour, 92 from the right side, 90 from the left side, it's good to see that left side starting to come through with a little bit of power. Because historically, that's where he's hit his home runs, is left-handed. So he hadn't hit a home run since May 1st, as you graciously told me earlier. And now seeing that power come through on the left side, of course, right as we're starting to get into June, it all makes sense. It's all coming together.
It's all coming together for him. It usually does. It's just this beautiful picture that starts to paint itself. But hopefully that can also come to June, stay in June, and stay consistent then throughout the rest of the season as well for Bryan Reynolds, because when he's hot, he is a fun player to watch in this game. But you would have to think tonight, despite Bryan Reynolds having his success, Colin Ray and the Cubs feel really good walking away from Pittsburgh the last 2 games. They did not come into Pittsburgh feeling that way, though. Ray, his 9th start of the season for the Cubs, his 4 straight start against the Pirates, going 5 innings or more, allowing 2 runs or fewer since 2025, most by any pitcher against the Pirates in that span.
It did seem like Colin Ray had better stuff tonight than I'm used to seeing. The spin was pretty good. He was dotting up very well. And it's one of those situations where as a team, you always think you're eventually going to get to this guy. And the Pirates did. It just took too long. You got to the point where the Cubs were comfortable pulling him out of the game because you were deep enough that if you did this in the third inning, right, if you score those 2 runs in the third, well, then you get to see Colin Ray 2 more times. So it changes. That's why we talk about getting to those relievers early, because you get a whole different situation. But you take a look, he got outs on 4 different pitches, and he spread them out really well. Most of these are top, middle of the zone. These are hittable pitches, a lot of these, and the Pirates just couldn't put good wood on it tonight.
And last year, we did a big breakdown with Ray. He completely changed everything. Arm angle went up, started throwing the 4-seamer, ran away from the sinker. This guy used to be bottom of the zone oriented, sinker, slider, and it was okay, right?
Okay.
He was a guy that they signed, hey, we're going to throw you in the bullpen, you're going to eat up innings, maybe spot start here and there. He's been really good for the Cubs in this year where they really need him, because he started in the bullpen, now he's a starter, and he's done a great job, you said, Hannah, against the Buccos, but also he's just been good against just about everybody in the league, but completely different than he was just 2 years ago. And you got to give kudos to guys at 35 that kind of resurrects his career by changing everything, and I mean everything.
And the Cubs needed him tonight for sure.
Absolutely.
They need to string together some wins after those losses, so it did feel like, okay, it was his night, it was the Cubs' night, but it's been Ian Happ's night every time he comes to PNC Park. His 7th career game with 5 or more total bases at PNC Park, and his homer tonight just feels like it really put the dagger in this one.
And just think how it started, right? Off of Paul Skenes' hand. A guy that probably knows better than that to reach for his glove, but he goes up with his hand because it wasn't hit hard enough. This is how his night started. That's the first hit, and what happens after that, Steven? A ball gets away, run scores, and he just stacks on top of whatever good comes his way. The juju at PNC is remarkable.
It is unbelievable. I mean, those 2 hits right there could both be errors.
Easily.
You know, and in that situation, I think Paul Skenes knows when you try to go for the bare hand as a pitcher, you got to know you're going to get it.
Right.
Because there was time there to put the glove up. We saw that happen just yesterday with Majinski, or just the other day with Majinski. Oh, it was Chandler.
It was Bubba,
yesterday.
Yeah.
But to see that, then him come out and hit that home run against Bidwa, kind of, it just like made sense in the worst way. That would be the person who would put things out of reach tonight against the Pirates, because that's what he's done over and over and over again. Even though this season he's only hitting .237 or something like that against the Pirates, it doesn't feel that way because he basically won them the last 2 games. So if one player can win you 2 games in a row, then you know he's got your number. And unfortunately, it's just another case of Ian Happ destroying the Pirates.
We would be happy not to see him back here for a while.
Goodbye.
That is for sure. Get him out of PNC Park, even though, as Haley Hunter told us earlier, he's doing amazing things back in the community. The kid that hails from Mountain Lebanon, so we'll give him that. We'll give him that tap on your back, Ian Happ. Still to come, I'm kicking these 2 out of the desk, sending them over to the hub. We've got to break down some of Paul Skenes' night. 10 strikeouts and a season-high 20 whiffs for him. How did they come together? The guys break that down next.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to be the judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
Oh, we got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
No, is it straight protein?
Yeah.
Field. Skunk City.
Oh, nobody is going near it. Look at that.
Killer skunk.
Going into the dugout. That'll empty that dugout in a hurry. Look at him go. And the cameraman. Oh, the cameraman took off.
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell.
Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
The people are welcoming, they're loving, they're caring. So if you're looking for a familial feel, definitely Asheville.
It's Asheville. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
They're excited to be back and back on their feet, so it's been awesome to see the rebuild.
Winning or losing, like everybody's there having a good time rooting us on. So.
Pirates Extra Innings Live is presented by Highmark, official health plan of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Because life, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Well, the Cubs beat the Pirates by a final of 7-2 tonight. That splits this 4-game series. Ian Happ obviously happy to be home with his 12th home run of the season. Brian Reynolds heating up as June is in bloom. And Paul Skenes threw 5 1/3 innings pitched, 3 runs, 1 earned, and 10 strikeouts for him tonight. Paul Skenes also had a season-high 20 whiffs tonight as the guys are over in the Highmark Hub. And guys, I'm curious because you had talked about Paul Skenes, Stephen, having a simple approach, it seemed like early in this one. It was really effective, and then you're not really sure how it unfolded from there. So as you take a closer look at these strikeouts, what did you notice about his arsenal tonight?
Well, first of all, thank you, Hannah. I noticed that his stuff was nasty from the get-go. Completely different than what we saw the last outing against the Blue Jays. So that's why him giving up any runs today was confusing, because it seems like in outings like these, he just steamrolls teams. And that wasn't the case today. It was the case at the beginning of the game, but once the Cubs got their first hit, it seemed like it kind of took off from there. Main thing here, Hannah, I loved seeing him attack guys with 2 strikes, getting swing and miss. 20, as you said, whiffs today. Michael, absolutely huge.
Yeah, I think one thing about Paul Skenes is I think he forgets how good he really is.
I agree with that, yeah.
I mean, he goes out and he has the ability to have that artwork, pitch ability, all of that. He's also a dominant force that throws 99 miles an hour. Bob Block, you're right. It was up a little bit today. Let's go ahead and run through this. We could have picked a bunch.
Yeah.
But I think if he evaluates this, where he's really going to look at his game, he's going to go, man, those walks got me. Because, what, 2 of them scored.
Agreed.
Right here. I mean, he goes down, he's 2-0, and then he comes back with a splitter to get back in the count. That's what you want to see. I love this sequence. He doesn't do it a lot. That split changeup, I think, is absolutely devastating. And the fact that he can come back with that Stephen Wright, so you go split, he cut the changeup a little bit, but you're going low, lower, and then you shoot it up on a guy that loves the ball down.
How about instead of low, lower, how about slow, slower?
I love that.
And then using the fastball away. So you get him slowing down, then you speed him up at the top. Didn't even make it to the top. Just put it on the outside corner.
When he can go north and south, he's a different animal.
Different animal. And then we also wanted to highlight the Suzuki at bat.
Which was really interesting.
And here we go. Another example. Nothing going into him. Okay, everything is forcing fastballs and sweepers here. Because for Skenes, when he's able, 3-0. When he's able to get to this point now, I'll give you one right down the middle. You're not going to swing. 3-1. Gives him another fastball. He swings and misses. And as we've seen multiple times against Suzuki, if you can get him reaching out on a breaking ball, he really doesn't have much of a chance. So when you can command one right there, this is not generally what you want with all of these all over the place. But to be able to locate those 2, I think is really all that mattered in that at bat.
And how he used this one, right? I mean, the sweeper came right off of it. I mean, he's so good at evaluating what's right out in front of him, not really worrying about anything else. I think sometimes he just doesn't realize how far ahead he is of the guys actually in the box.
I agree.
You guys do a bad job on the mound, giving us way too much credit. We are morons in the box. We don't change often. And a lot of times you guys say, I think he may be looking for this. Oh, no.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the whiffs tonight. Only whiffs on 3 of his pitches, which makes it even more impressive to me. To be able to see 20 whiffs tonight, season high, as Hannah said. But look, the sweeper, all of his whiffs, perfectly placed.
Perfect.
All of them. Okay, fastballs. This is when you know it's good for Skenes, when he's getting fastballs, whiffs in the middle. Then he got his on the top, and then the changeups, which we love so much. Interesting amount of them being hooked over here tonight.
Kind of yanked a couple of
them. But as long as he's getting it down, that's fine.
Yeah, it is weird not seeing more red here.
Yeah, we haven't seen it the last few starts.
Yeah.
You know?
Colorado, dominant with that fastball above the zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the area that he really gets a ton of swing and miss, more than anybody in baseball with the four-seamer. I think that's the spot you're going to see him try to get to more often. He just sometimes get a little horizontal.
Yeah, I think when you talk about simplifying too, What I was mentioning, the reason I think that that matters is because that's kind of the expected, right? Fastballs are going to be in and up, and then breaking balls and changeups are going to be fading away from you because then you have to really reach out and get it. That works because it's worked forever. Okay, it's the simplest approach, and for Skenes, we can see at times, like you said, Michael, maybe sometimes goes to that pitchability maybe a little too much instead of Hannah just being the dominant force, the terrifying force that he is on the mound and being impossible to hit. We saw it for a few innings tonight. I think we'll see it again next start.
100.
Yeah, just be Paul Skenes, right? People can't hit you for a reason, but I know it's coming from us, too. It sounds a lot simpler than that at times in a game, especially when you see a team as much as you do against the Cubs. Curious to hear Paul's thoughts coming up soon, but also coming up next. When June is in bloom, Bryan Reynolds' bat finds some boom, and the Pirates are on historic pace for home runs. We'll tell you more, plus hear from manager Don Kelly.
We're celebrating 250 years.
What do you think?
Well, our team does need some heat on the mound, but we also need some power on the plate and someone reliable in the infield. I say we take Jimmy.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Maybe next year, guys.
Rocchio with a two-hop throw on the money. A stellar defensive play. He leaps up. He made an incredible catch. That boy got some hops.
Sprawling stop to his left. Nice play by Bregman.
Leaps and makes the grab, streaking into right center. Good strong throw. It's in plenty of time.
Osuna with a tremendous play in short left field.
Long way to go. Riley's there. And a jumping catch by Hamilton. It's short. Oh, goodness gracious. Keyshawn slides, picks, feeds Ryan at the bag, and the Twins make the play. Carson Benton flying through the air.
Through the first is in time. Xander Bogaerts hits another star. What a play in the hole.
Get it, Jackson. Jackson! Way to go, kid!
Vargas with the perfect feed into second base.
That's a wonderful play. Nice play by Steer. That's why he was a finalist for the Gold Glove.
Riku Nishida. Back-to-back Cage throws out the runner at the plate.
Extra Innings Live is presented by Ford. Visit your neighborhood Ford store today for great deals on new Ford vehicles. Official truck of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Drive to right field. Bryan Reynolds has gotten the Bucks on the board, clearing the deck with that cannonball, his fifth. And it's 3-1, anchor down.
Bryan Reynolds has been hitting really well in May, but that was his first homer this month since May 1st. The Pirates are now on pace for 173 home runs this season after that Reynolds homer. The franchise record is 171, set in 1999. Can they do it? The Pirates would go, though, despite Bryan Reynolds doing everything he could to bring them back and go on to lose 7-2 here in the top of the sixth, up 1-0. That's Ian Happ bouncing Skenes' 103rd pitch of the day back up the middle for a single. Michael Busch, his second walk of the night, would come in to score on a rare throwing error by Jared Triolo that makes it 2-0 Cubs. Mason Montgomery now in relief of Skenes, looking for that double play ball to end the inning. He gets the ground ball from Suzuki, but just not hard enough hit for the Bucks to turn 2. Bregman would score. Cubs up 3-zip. Leading off the bottom of the inning, Bryan Reynolds drives Colin Ray's pitch over the Clemente wall and right. His 5th of the season gets the Bucks on the board. Later in that inning, Yosinson Garcia on first with 2 outs, and Tyler Callahan making his Pirates debut. His first Major League Baseball extra base hit is going to bring in a run and make this one a 1-run ball game. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Tyler Callahan.
Score remained that way into the top of the 8th. Runner on first with 2 outs for the Cubs, and Ian Happ jumps on this four-seam fastball from Brandon Bidouin, his 12th of the season. Cubs go up 5-2 and go on to win by a final score of 7-2. To hear what Don Kelly thought about this series as a whole, let's head now to PNC Park.
Donnie, when Paul was coming out, you went out, talked to him, and then you decided to give him Ian Happ. Can you kind of just take us through that conversation, why you decided to keep Paul out there?
Yeah, we had talked mid-inning about a plan, just went out to check on him, make sure see where he was at, with Happ coming up, and he did a good job getting a ground ball there. I thought he pitched him pretty tough. He said he had enough left in the tank to keep rolling, and totally trust him in that. I thought he made, not just in that inning, but thought he threw the ball extremely well tonight.
Last 2 starts weren't really his best. Just how nice was it to see him come out there totally in command and control right out of the gate?
Yeah, totally in command. The stuff was really good. I thought the fastball velo was up a little bit. Command was good, and they had some good at-bats off of him. Pitch count got elevated a little bit, and then even on the balls that they were able to score on, not hammered. The ball back to Paul, they tried to bare hand, and then the jam shot to left. There in the 6th inning, we have to play better defense.
Donnie, do you have a sense for how long Connor or Nick, or what their status is?
Yeah, nothing. It's day to day. I think on both. Connor dealing with the right forearm was available. To pinch run off the bench tonight, and with Nick, I mean, he's tough, man. Coming in and went out for ground balls, and it stiffened up on him, and for him to be able to play a couple innings until Callahan got here, a tough spot for Callahan, and came up with a big at bat there and a huge double. But for Nick to grind that out, he was not in a good spot. But they're both day to day.
What's happened with Connor, like with the injury?
It was throwing.
With Nick, was it something where literally you needed like 3 minutes for three innings for Callahan to get here from the airport? Or
yeah, and to see how Nick was going, it was stiffening up in between innings. He was trying to keep it loose. He did a great job going and put a good swing on a ball to center. He just certainly was not anywhere close to 100%.
What did you make of the way that Tyler was able to seize the opportunity, a couple good at bats there?
Yeah, the walk, the double, and it made that really good play on the one down the line, and a huge double there, left on left, and to be able to have a great at bat and get it 3-2 in the game was huge.
What did you see defensively in that play with Triolo in the 6th?
Yeah, the ball that Happ hit came in, and I don't know if he went to tag the base runner and then throw, and it looked like Happ maybe even might have beat it if it was safe. I mean, if it was a good throw, I'm not sure, but just plays in that inning that we have to make.
Are you seeing anything?
Well, you heard manager Don Kelly mention the status of both Nick Gonzalez and Connor Griffin. There was a lot of movement in the Pirates lineup ahead of today. We will break down more of that news and new faces next.
What do you think?
Well, our team does need some heat on the mound, but we also need some power on the plate and someone reliable in the infield. I say we take Jimmy.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Maybe next year, guys.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Altman with the dive! Superman hit-saving play goes in the rail, and Sal Stewart makes the play.
Diving catch made by DeLuca. Diving toward Berger. He's got it. He's up. Nice play by Jake Berger.
Harris reaches up and makes the catch. Michael does it again.
Nunez dives, stops it, gets to his feet, throw it out first, he's out!
To steer, extends, double play. Leaping up. Oh, he caught it.
He does it again. Going back is Bellinger, and he makes the play.
Diving stop Guerrero. The flip to Savage, and it's in time.
Serve it into left field on
now Martinez.
Oh, what a nice grab by Connor Norby.
On a short hop, a bullet he snagged.
Carson Bench with a one-hop straight to the plate. He is out.
To the warning track, he leaps at the wall. He makes the catch.